She's obsessed with me.
Well, it's not so bad.
I think if paranoia was personified into a film, it would be Obsession.
I know what you're trying to do.
Almost everybody has been in a toxic relationship. I think they might be able to avoid one by watching this movie. There's gonna be a lot of breakups after this movie. Don't you think?
Potentially.
I want people to be in the car ride home after the movie thinking about what they would do in a situation like that. If I made a wish, what would I try to do? I just love to put the audience in there because that's the most exciting thing for me.
One wish, Willow. Amaze your friends. You only get one wish.
This producer, James Harris, reached out and said he wanted to finance a feature version of The Chair, which is a short film that I did. And I said, I'd love to do a feature version of The Chair, but I actually have been working on this Obsession short film that I'd love to do a feature version of that if I could pitch it to you. And he said yes, and so it just kind of became very real to me that I could have an opportunity to direct a feature film of mine.
I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the fucking world.
This thing just started to grow in me about a horror movie idea, either a man or a woman who was obsessed with the other in a relationship. It gets worse and worse and worse, and then that person gets trapped and they can't get out of it. And then the whole wish element fell into becoming the device of how it all came to be. A man who desperately has this crush on this girl and then makes a wish and then she becomes obsessed with him. To me, the title is almost a double entendre in that Obsession is also about Bear. Like, he's obsessed with her, he wants her. But yeah, that concept was just really intriguing to me. How far can codependency go?
What surprised me about it was how incredibly grounded a horror movie can be. We really wanted to make sure that it was real. And I think that's why it's absolutely horrific, because it's raw and it's real, and I can't wait to scare people.
Thrill me! Whoa, what the fuck? Nikki, stop!
Oh my God!
Stop, please! Nikki, you're scaring me!
Don't be scared, baby. Don't be scared. I would never hurt you. I'm sorry.
Stop! Nikki, you're scaring me! When I first read the script, I loved that nothing was black and white. Especially my character, Bear. You know, he's a relatable guy. You really want to root for him, but then he starts making very questionable choices. You know, I was excited to kind of take on that challenge.
Michael was really good from the start. We saw his initial tape and there was just this innocence to him. His voice had this really interesting quality to it. And then we brought him into a chemistry read with Indy. It was like, okay, this is Bear. Like, the unassuming nature that he had was perfect for the character. I couldn't unsee it once I saw him do it.
I think maybe you should go home tonight.
I want to go home.
And yeah, okay, well, we've just started dating, okay? So we
What can I do? Please tell me what I can do.
I want you just to be normal.
I can't be normal. I can't be anything.
When I read with Indy, it was just obvious that we had a special connection. The first scene that I read with Indy, I believe, was a scene in the film where I am telling Nikki that I just want her to be normal, and she's saying, I can't be normal, and I'm saying, you're not being normal. So it just, tears are flowing, and it was bizarre. Like, I waited in a room for like an hour and then went in, shook her hand, and then immediately went right into the scene. I mean, it was crazy. Not to mention the fact that we just kind of did our own interpretation of the scene. So it was just like spit and touching faces, grabbing. It was very, I was completely open to it. It was a really fun time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry.
You're not being like Nikki.
I'm sorry. I love you. I love you. Please.
He brought everything humanly possible. He was unbelievably raw. He was not afraid of anything. And whenever we pivoted or tried something new, he was game.
What's so bad about being with me?
I've never been with you, Bear.
The beauty of Michael is he has such a warm presence, a warm energy. He brought that into the role, so you want to root for him. You know, the beginning of the film, he like feels very much like a protagonist.
Hopeless romantic.
Yeah, like someone you want to root for. And then you watch him misstep time and time again.
I need you to do something for me.
Why can't you love me?
Stop.
Why don't you love me?
Indy was very surprising because she's very secretive about her performances until the day. And so I actually didn't know exactly what I was working with until the first day of shooting. We had a pretty heavy scene. It was the scene where they're kissing on the bed and then she realizes where she is. She pops back into her body and she freaks out and flies off the bed.
What the fuck? What? Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
That take that's in the movie was like, I think her first take. And so I was like, oh, okay, wow. Like that was kind of the moment where I felt, you know, a little better because I hadn't actually seen how far she could go. It was a weight lifted off my chest that I could see that she could go there.
She committed 100% to the role. A lot of times she didn't let me see what she was gonna do. She wanted to get my genuine reaction. I mean, it worked. I just sat there and reacted to whatever she did.
So, will you promise me something?
Yes.
No more weird stuff. All right?
There's a specific scene where Indy does a really creepy little smile, and I really wanted to see it, and I kept asking her all day to show me, and she said, nope, nope, nope. And she finally did it live, and it creeped me out. I think I broke character. I might have ruined a take because it was so good.
She has such perfect micro expressions to suggest so many things, and she's very unsettling. She perfected that.
There were so many times she had to think outside the box or like get out of her own comfort zone.
No, 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 don't do that!
Curry and I spent a lot of days perfecting this almost uncanny valley, nature behind the eyes, just really kind of letting the pain from the Nikki that's underneath show through the eyes while you have this wish version of her kind of mechanically moving her body. It's really scary.
I can't be Nikki!
Could you imagine my dismay when she's like, yeah, I've never screamed before. I was like, oh, never? So we would scream. We would practice screaming together.
We played with that for weeks, and I would go over to his house and we would do voices. He even prompted me to look in the mirror and do it, and I did that once and I got sleep paralysis, and I will never do that again. That was terrifying.
Anything I was asking of her to do, I would do myself, just to kind of make sure it's like, you're not the only one that has to look stupid. I have to look stupid too.
Bring up Freaky Nikki. You want me to call her Freaky Nikki? You know she's sensitive about
Like,
that.
hey, remember when you used to get bullied? Everybody called you Freaky Nikki? She'll be like, oh my God, no, Bear, that was so long ago, no, please.
Cooper and I go way back. We met in film school out here, and we both decided to drop out at the same time. And we started making short films immediately together. We started doing comedy together. I knew he could play that kind of jerk friend, playboy type of character. We have a shorthand that I don't think I'll ever have with anyone else.
Curry, when he wrote the script, he was like, hey, you know, I have you in mind for this role. And I was just nervous. Like, I was like, I don't want to fuck this up for him. This is his big moment. And he gave me, you know, a huge shot at this. So every scene, I was like, I hope I get this right for everybody. I wanted his vision to make it onto the screen and be perfect.
I went to this.
I didn't realize we were all taking a field trip to the bar.
When Cooper and Megan come onto the screen, it just sort of fills everything out. I mean, their characters serve as the voice of reason a lot of the time that maybe doesn't always get listened to. Megan brought this groundedness and honesty.
My character, I mean, I root for her. I think she is such a loyal friend. She can tell it how it is, and she's trying to protect all of her friends throughout the chaos of what ensues.
She's the only innocent one
Yeah.
in the group. In my
I haven't, my hands are clean.
Nikki, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Watching you sleep. You're so cute when you sleep.
I think there's a lot of similarities between directing comedy and horror. I'm not trying to be really funny. I'm just trying to pursue honesty in the story, and that is really funny sometimes. For example, the moment where Nikki says, go back to sleep, and he just sits there for a second, thinks about it, and then he lays back to bed and goes to sleep. That always gets a laugh in the theater.
Go back to sleep.
I have to admit, like, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was trying to be like, what would you do? Like this uncomfortable, like, okay, I guess I'll just lay down for a second. Maybe she'll join me in bed and stop being weird if I do this. But I think the reason people laugh is because it's not what you're used to seeing in a horror movie. It's unexpected, and so people laugh.
Why don't you love me?
Nikki? Nikki, where are you?
timing is everything, and the scares are really specific. I will say that once we definitely got the take, Curry encouraged us to play. And I think that was really important because we discovered some really amazing things that way.
He has a very strong vision. At the same time, which is fun about Curry, because we come from comedy, there's a lot of improv. So we got to add a lot to his vision that I don't think he expected as well, which is fun for an actor.
Everyone knows what the goal is, but also as actors, like he gives us room first to do our interpretation. He's really supportive of the play.
Curry brings this really fresh, infectious energy to the set, kind of like shooting a movie in the backyard with your friends, except with very clear vision and a bigger budget.
We only had 20 days to shoot this movie, and so it was chaos. Everyone was really playful, but it was long days.
My biggest challenge on the shoot was preserving my intensity. There's a lot of really intense scenes. We would shoot all night, and I really wanted to just give it 110% every time, but I learned pretty quickly that I had to save some for later. Curry is such a visual director. He's editing the movie in his head while we're shooting, so I only really have to go all out for half the scene.
I didn't want there to be any guessing on the day. I had started to storyboard. I knew exactly what I wanted for most of the movie. Even when I was writing, I saw the shots in my head. But then when I met my DP Taylor, he had this process that he was doing on some of his films where he would scan areas with his phone with the LiDAR scanner and 3D scan it, and then we put it in Unreal Engine, and then you have these puppets, and you can actually storyboard the movie in the video game. Using that process, we went scene by scene and we storyboarded the entire movie. And what's funny is we didn't just storyboard, I would actually edit. So I'd be like, then we're gonna cut to this, then we're gonna cut back to this. With that little cartoon, you almost kind of had the movie all laid out.
I need you to say, I wish for my friend Barry.
I wish for $1 billion.
One of the funnest things was the money falling scene.
No!
We hadn't figured out how we were gonna do it. We wanted to do it practically, and so we set up these huge like scaffoldings on sides, and we had the art department having these $100 bills and throwing them on top of our actors. And I told Cooper to act like it was more than it was. He had to pretend that money's hitting his face, but there wasn't anything there. So if you just look at the raw footage, it's just Cooper going, and he looks so stupid. That was really funny to watch, and everyone was just cracking up. Cooper was so self-conscious about it.
Oh, it's okay.
Jeez, Barry, what kind of spells you put on her?
The party scene was really challenging because there's huge windows in this like wooden house. The only feasible way to shoot it was to shoot actually at nighttime. So these overnight shoots were just so long and exhausting for everybody involved. The crew is falling asleep, and yet this scene was pages and pages long.
The air was charged by the distant call of a night bird.
Indy had a lot of moments on set where she was creeping me out, especially that scene where she did the Hansel and Gretel monologue.
I'm more than your wife. I'm your sister.
We had to like sit there and listen to the whole thing.
That whole monologue was uncomfortable in general.
I felt like we did one take with that too. She did the whole thing, and our reactions are exactly like, that was it, right there.
New book I'm working on.
The nature of the monologue is really grotesque and not something that you would naturally pull out at a party. But at a certain point during the monologue, I kind of fed off of the fact that it made everybody viscerally uncomfortable, because some of the extras had never seen that monologue or heard it before. And it was amazing to have genuine people that you were just hanging out with at lunch going, what the hell is she talking about? And that was amazing. I loved freaking them out.
I think you need someone more chill.
Like you.
Sarah's death scene was really hard. We only had one take. So we had 3 candy glasses, like 3 fake windows. And the first one, the art department was bringing to the car, and it shattered in their hand. So there goes one. And then the second one, we actually managed to get on the car. But then when Nick hit into it, a big piece of styrofoam just fell down into the shot, and it was completely unusable. So we just had one more left. I mean, if it didn't work out, I don't even know what we would have done.
I loved my death scene. It was so fun. That was my last day on set, so I went out with a bang.
I have to smash my head through a window and then beat a beautifully kind woman with a brick. It was a foam brick, but Curry really wanted us to do it multiple times. And it was also just really strange because I was talking to Megan like 5 minutes beforehand, then I'm just bashing her head in and then blood spattering everywhere. And the camera's on me and then I see Michael's face on the opposite side, just like, oh my God.
I spent a lot of time in that car with the dummy that was molded from Megan's face. Peripherally, I would start talking and forget that it wasn't Megan. It was crazy. That scene is just iconic. It will be stuck in your head for a long time.
This is all your fault. Sarah's your fault. You wanted this, you wished for this.
I remember seeing it for the first time in an audience. The reactions are insane. There were screams and like people jumping up, people covering their face, people crying.
I've never seen grown men jump in their seats before, and that was great. That was awesome.
The whole crowd's like, wow, wow, wow. And I was like,
Yeah.
everyone relax. Why are you so happy that I'm getting my head bashed in?
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you!
Shooting the finale of the movie, we didn't shoot that toward the end of filming. It was more in the middle. We knew that we nailed the ending. I think it gave us an extra morale boost. We rewatched some of the final shots on the monitor right after we shot them, like in real time, and it was so powerful. And for the rest of the film, every scene we did after that felt so exciting that we just knew exactly what we were building to. And that was a really special moment.
I think that this film is incredibly special because it was a lot of people's firsts. This was Curry's first feature film with a studio, and everybody gave it 110%. And I think that's why the film is the way that it is.
Why can't you love me?
I understood Nikki 100%. Michael understood Bear. Curry was incredibly collaborative. Everybody on set was pretty much under 40. The peppy nature, the youthfulness that we all had going into this, we were so hungry that you see that in the film. The way that we portray these characters, the way that we portray the scenes, and the chemistry and the relationships.
Bear, I love you so much. I don't think I could live without you.
It's really scary when you first get on a bigger set. I remember the camera test day. It was the day right before shooting. I'm going into the house that we picked out. I'm seeing people painting the walls, people downstairs working on camera equipment, people putting wallpaper up, all these things that I was like, holy cow, they're doing all of this for the movie. It felt really overwhelming and nerve-wracking. But then after I'd called action on the first day, done a couple takes and called cut, I very quickly realized, like, wait a second, like, yes, this is a bigger scale, but this is exactly the same thing I've been doing since I was 12 years old with my brothers. It's not about you, it's about everyone's there to make a really cool thing. The movie didn't get made on its own. Like, everybody put in 100%. That's the only way it got made.
Only you're gonna be together forever and ever.